Good morning, everyone. Today, our topic is about planning the test. Assessment in the classroom setting is accountability focused because it reflects the success of the teacher and students in the teaching learning process. Test results may show how well the students have guided well the students to the course or subject and how the teachers were able to deliver instructions effectively. According to Tanya de Guzman or Joel Adamos, test construction process for classroom setting applies the same preliminary steps in construction or any instrument which is designed to measure a psychological construct, and these are the following. Planning phase. Specifying learning outcomes to be assessed and preparations of table are done. Item construction phase. Done wherein appropriate format for the specified learning outcomes of instruction. Review phase. The teacher or his peers examine items prior to administration based on the judgment of their content, alignment, and behavior components of the instruction and competencies, and based on the student's performance analysis in each item after administration. What is the purpose of the test and its aim? It aims to gather reliable and valid data and information significant to both students and teachers for formative as well as summative purposes. When tests are given at the instructional process, it takes a different purpose. Planned competencies to be developed in the unit of work is considered by the test with this purpose. The test development process should begin with a statement of purpose of test which should be clear and the intended inferences to be made from the test. Learning outcome specification. After determining the purpose of the assessment to administer to students, the next step is to specify the learning outcomes to be assessed in construction and administering the assessment. Okay, let us review what are the learning outcomes. Assessment processes recognize and address various learning targets defined by the intended learning outcomes from the knowledge of facts and information covered by the curriculum at every level to different facets of showing understanding to them. Okay, so these phases are considered as learning targets. What skills or operative processes they can demonstrate, what bigger or newer ideas they can form and derive, innovative products, processes they can construct, including original application in real life. So these processes considered learning targets that include knowledge, skills, reasoning. Blueprint. A test blueprint is an effective tool for construction, which ensures more objective means of judging the learning experience of performance of the students. A test blueprint is also called as test specifications, table of specifications, test plan, test matrix. What is an exam of blueprint? Before beginning the blueprint, you need to know what type of exam you're creating. A formative exam or a quiz or unit test administered during the course should have a minimum of 60 items. A summative exam, which is also called a final exam, has ideally between 150 and 200 items. A two-way chart relates the learning outcome to the course of construction. It enables the students to prepare a test containing representative sample of students' knowledge in each of the area tested. So this is the sample of table of specification. This. So there are two-way chart, one-way grid and two-way. The one-way grid. One-way grid, it shows a plan for testing for different learning competencies with the same topic area. It is often utilized for skill-oriented subjects like reading and language, or for formative tests in classroom, which focus on specific skills. Two-way. In this form, both elements, subject matter and skills, and how type of tests are shown. So, objective test and subjective test. Instructional outcomes of the skills and the item format recommended for use is placed in the third column. With regards to the test and non or item format, objective test and non-objective or performance test can be used. Objective test have the single of best answer for every item based on the key to correction prepared by the teacher in advance. So, in objective test, learners are required to either supply a missing fact or select correct response, form a set of options. Okay, what about subjective test or performance subjective test? It requires students to create or construct responses, oral or written. So example, write a letter or perform a task or prepare a dish. Scoring for this format is guided by a standard for scoring which is prepared ahead or with the use of rubrics. Okay, so table of specification. In this form, the specific item format to be utilized in framing the test questions is indicated. Take the table below as an example. So just look at the example, the table. Okay, for outcome 1, it may be for objective types like selection, type or in the response to be selected or recognized from 2 given choices will be required. For outcome 2, supply type can be used, and for outcome 3, it calls for an authentic writing task or producing real output or product. It is non-objective and will be scored with the use of rubrics or a scoring scale. Okay. So in preparing a table of specification for a K to 12, the adapted cognitive process dimensions in Department of Education, Order 8, Series of 2015, the policy guidelines on classroom assessment for the K-12 basic education program in 2015, the said cognitive processes are placed in the table of specification from basic, this one basic, to complex, and these are as follows. Remembering. So let's see the remembering definition. It is recalling information and retrieving important knowledge from long-term memory. So from the highest to lowest. Okay, so identify, recognize, it can retrieve, list, duplicate, memorize, reproduce, and repeat. Okay, understanding. So it has also, you can exemplify, you can classify, interpret, infer, summarize, you can compare, you can paraphrase, you can discuss, and you can even explain. So that is in understanding. Applying. So so you can see here, um, applying has, you can implement, demonstrate, execute, interpret, you can dramatize, you can use, you can solve, you can convert, you can illustrate, and discover. So you can undertake a procedure in familiar situation in a new way. Analyzing. So in analyzing, it's distinguishing between parts and identifying how they relate to one another and to overall structure and purpose. Distinguishing, differentiate, compare, contrast, outline, organize, deconstruct, attribute. Okay, so let's go to evaluation. See, evaluating is making judgments and decisions. You can measure, coordinate, critique, argue, detect, defend, judge, appraise, evaluate, and debate. Creating, putting the elements together to form a sequential whole, creating a new point of view or product. Plan, hypothesize, design, assemble, produce, construct, formulate, devise. Thank you. So that's all my lesson for today, and I will see you next week. It's gonna be my sixth lesson. Thank you for listening, having time. Have safe everyone. God bless.